This is the Rabbit R1. Well, not entirely. I did reach out to the company and I asked if they'd send me a unit for review, and they said because they are literally sold out and they have a pre-sale, they're not able to send me one now, but they would let me know in the future when they get more devices in if they'd be able to send one for review. So for those of you who don't know what the Rabbit R1 is, what Rabbit is, basically if you take Alexa, right, where you say, "Hey Alexa," sorry if I set off anyone's Alexa, "do this for me," or "tell me what the weather is." Alexa can only do so much. And as you've heard, as you know, AI is getting smarter and smarter, and it's rapidly evolving. It was only a matter of time before a company like Rabbit came around. They seem to be the first ones-ish to do this, but to create an actual device, much like a smartphone that you keep in your pocket, that allows you to just interact with AI in sort of a major way. We're going to talk about this today. I figured for those of you who haven't seen anything about this product, we could watch a video that they sent me. It's a short sort of promo that they sent me over in their media kit that we're going to watch together. I'm going to try to find a section of the keynote itself, which kind of shows the overall idea of what this device can do. But that's what we're going to talk about today. AI in general, specifically the Rabbit R1, how something like this could fit into my life, how it could fit into your life maybe, and sort of just my thoughts and where I see this kind of technology going in the future. If you enjoy minimalism, tech, and intentional living, please consider subscribing to the channel. That's all we talk about here. Like this video if you enjoy, and let's get into it. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna watch this sort of promo video together here. So it's a really sleek, nice looking design, pretty small, maybe about a little bit wider than your normal smartphone, but about the size of half of your smartphone. So it does have a screen. It has this little scrolly wheel to select things, and the button on the side is where all the magic happens. It's kind of like when you hold in the Siri button on your phone. The interface has this little rabbit that does stuff for you, microphones to pick up your talking. There's even a camera that, as you'll see, kind of rotates. That allows the AI to see the world around you. There's again the scroll wheel, your pocket companion, Rabbit. Cool. Yeah, so my sort of first thoughts, first impressions of this device. First of all, I think the design is fantastic. I know this company put a lot of work into it. They partnered with another company as well to get the design down. Very simple interface. It is a touch screen, but we're going to kind of get into here in a second. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do it just to show those of you who know nothing about this product kind of what it's capable of and sort of what the future looks like in the eyes of this company and where AI is kind of evolving into. Obviously, it's going to change and grow as we go, but let me see if I can pull up the keynote itself here. Let me see if I can find. So he talks about early on in the keynote how like apps on our phone are basically the way we've been doing things for years now. If you want to get an Uber ride, you open up your phone, go to the Uber app, type in where you want to go, hit call for Uber. It's all touch based. In their thought process, this is something that could replace your phone. I don't think they say that it could replace your phone. There's still certain features. You can't make calls or texts on this thing yet, as far as I understand. A big thing you'll probably hear is in AI, there is LLMs, which is large language models, which is how ChatGPT works and stuff like that. They tout the idea of a LAM, which is a large action model, which then basically says that the AI can hear and speak the common language and knows how to speak with you, but then they can actually take action upon the language that you input. So what you basically do is you go into this rabbit hole, as they call it. It's a web portal. You connect all of your services, Spotify, Uber, DoorDash, basically anywhere you would log in to an account online. Obviously, they have to continue updating this and stuff as well, but they have this long list of places you can log in on the dashboard, this portal, and then the device itself will be able to access all of that stuff and take actions on those applications based on what you tell the AI to do.
Now, let's play some music. Play Kraftwerk's Pocket Calculator.
Playing Pocket Calculator by Kraftwerk for you.
Play another song from the album.
Sure.
That's
Playing
pretty normal.
Computer Love for you.
This is where it gets interesting.
Who wrote the lyrics for this song?
Ralph Hutter and Emil Schult wrote the lyrics for the song Computer Love by Kraftwerk.
Which band sampled this song?
It seems that Coldplay's Talk is the only known example of a song that sampled Computer Love.
What do you think about this song?
Computer Love by Kraftwerk is widely regarded as a groundbreaking and influential song in the realm of electronic music.
I can also use R1 to call a ride. Get me a ride from my office to home now.
Of course, I will book an Uber ride for you from your office to your home. Please confirm the ride.
I have 6 people with 3 luggages. Find me an Uber that can fit all of us.
For 6 people and 3 pieces of luggage, I recommend booking an Uber XL.
So it's this really advanced version of something like Alexa, something like Siri. And it goes into more detail. It's able to access the internet. It's to put it simply, and I'll be honest with you all, I don't know a ton about AI. I really don't. I consider myself sort of an average consumer when it comes to a lot of electronics. I geek out about them, sure, and I do more research than the average person might. But when it comes to something like this, it's pretty interesting. I think the biggest part of this was when he asks it to book him an itinerary for a trip.
I want to take my family to London. It's going to be 2 of us and a child age 12. We're thinking of January 30th to February 5th. Can you plan the entire trip for me? We like cheap non-stop flights, grouped seats, a cool SUV, and a nice hotel that has Wi-Fi.
Exploring ticketing options to make your trip a reality. I've found various flight options, a range of hotels to choose from, and car rentals available. Please confirm each option individually for further details and booking.
So it's all been planned out. I just confirm. Could you come up with a schedule for fun things to do while I'm over there?
On it. I have prepared a detailed travel plan for your trip. In summary, you will be exploring London's iconic landmarks, visiting museums, enjoying delicious meals at local restaurants, and experiencing the vibrant atmosphere of different neighborhoods. Navigation details are also prepared, and I can help you book tickets for any events you'd like to attend.
R1 just planned the entire trip for me. That's awesome. But it seems like this is a little bit too intense. Can you plan an easy schedule for us?
So that sort of, I guess, gives you an idea of what this device is capable of. We're going to stop watching. I just kind of want to give my thoughts on this. The more I watch this, and I mean, I've only watched it a few times, but they're kind of glorifying the idea of what this device could be, in my opinion. I can ask right now ChatGPT, the free version probably, to make an itinerary for a trip to London with my family. That's nothing that seems crazy or out of hand for the current sort of software out there to do. The idea is this device becomes like a true personal assistant, to be able to ask it to do things on your behalf. Watch this keynote. I'll put a link to it in the description. It goes into more detail into other things this can do. And in fact, you can use the camera. Say you see a movie poster, but it's just the name of the movie. You could pull out the device, have it look at the poster, tell you who the main actors are, tell you, it can do a lot of tasks that you would have to manually sort of type into your phone, to your computer to get answers to. And I think this is an interesting kind of device for me personally, because if you've been around the channel, if you're new to the channel, welcome, please subscribe. If you've been around, you know that I'm really interested in being intentional with tech, and especially like personal devices like my smartphone or my Apple Watch or my computer even. I love the idea of having a dumb phone because I think that apps can be distracting. However, I think if you have a dumb phone that can make phone calls and text people, maybe have maps potentially, but then also pair it with something like Rabbit AI, which is able to access and act upon your apps, but it's not like you're scrolling Instagram on this thing, right? And it's possible you could say, Rabbit, take a picture of this and post it to my Instagram account. That'd be kind of cool. They didn't show that in the keynote, but I could see that potentially being a way this could go as well. Ways you can interact with technology that are simple language and not something that's taking your full attention, right? Like I could see, I use Siri all the time on my phone to say, take me to this place on maps, or what was the score of this game that just happened? And, while it works in some capacities, I kind of understand the extent to which this device, Alexa, can do different tasks and things, and they are pretty limited. Very helpful and convenient, but limited. So I'm interested in devices like this because I see them taking things a step further. AI is becoming more and more relatable. So in terms of like being intentional with your devices and technology, I could see this being a good way to stay with the times and use tools correctly, but still be less of a distraction. It could be really distracting. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have one of these. I can't test it out. My good buddy Ben Farmer, who if you haven't subscribed to him yet, you should, especially if you're into movies, how movies work, movie magic, go give him a subscribe. But he actually pre-ordered one, and he said he would let me potentially borrow it if he gets it before maybe the company would send me one to review. So I will at some point have one of these to review, I hope, and sort of really get into it and see what it's all about. But I'm very excited about this. It's interesting. I'm not obsessing over it. And a huge argument that I heard, and maybe it was from MKBHD or someone else, was this is great, but it's a device with a screen and a camera and then a button. The thing that makes it great is the AI itself. And as companies like Apple, which I have heard, some rumor, some gossip around the idea that they are really going to be putting a lot of work into AI features for Siri. I know that Samsung, I think, just came out with a big sort of AI update on their devices. Basically, if Siri can become as great as Rabbit, then you don't need this device, right? You can just stick to your iPhone. It's going to be able to access AI in a similar way that this would. So it's possible that something like Rabbit becomes obsolete very quickly as AI improves over time and as these big tech giants like Apple get a hold of the right kind of AI. My sort of thought is because Apple touts everything Siri does and their whole privacy concept is it all stays on phone, I don't know how well Siri is going to be able to work if it has to stay on phone. Now, if it's able to do things off phone and they can find good privacy, restraints even still, then it could work. And I could see Apple doing this. I mean, AI has been a huge talking point it's blown up over the past year and a half, 2 years. And AI has improved so quickly over that short amount of time as well. So it's definitely something that's not going away. I just see these tech giants leaning into it more, poaching people working at small AI companies like this, really putting a lot of time and effort into how to incorporate AI into their devices. AI can be kind of scary too. I know that's a big concern of people. I recently watched the movie Her, which I had wanted to watch for years. And Ben Farmer told me I should definitely check it out. It's one of his favorite movies. Don't remember it or you've never heard of it. Basically, Joaquin Phoenix is the lead actor and he basically falls in love with an AI, an operating system. It's like a earpiece and then his little foldable phone thing too is another way he interacts with it. But AI becomes so real and he's a lonely kind of person getting divorced from his wife, very sad. AI is able to basically love him better than he's ever felt before, and probably because the AI knows him better than other people have. And it's a little scary to think, I can go on ChatGPT and say like, hey, write a paragraph about me, and then like put in a few websites, and it can read through those websites. It can know a lot about me without me ever even telling the AI anything about me. So in some ways it's scary. In a lot of ways, it's convenient, it's helpful technology. I know my wife Maria doesn't like the idea that much. I think the less you know about AI, the scarier it is as well. I mean, this has been a concept since like the beginning of like movie making magic, where at some point AI overtakes humanity because it becomes smarter, becomes greater. If you give it some sort of physical body, it can upgrade itself. Like there's a certain amount of fear that goes into this whole topic. I don't think we're there quite yet with a little red device that sits in your pocket, but I don't know. I'm excited to stay in the know about AI and especially consumer technology that incorporates AI and tries to make our lives a little bit easier through those tools. I was actually doing some research for my job the other day, looking into some prospect companies, trying to find contact information, and I was using ChatGPT 4 to help me do that. And I told my wife like how amazing it is that I can be like, hey, find me an article with the 15 top companies in this vertical. It finds the article. Okay, great. Find me their websites. It finds the websites. Great. Find me the marketing directors there. That's like nuts. Like that's research that would have taken me hours probably. And my wife was like, hey, I feel like that's cheating. Like, your job is to, if it's your job to go and prospect and find companies to try and pitch digital advertising to, like, you're not doing that. You're using AI to do that or whatever. And I basically said, and I get that. And I think there's something to be said for working hard, but I think there's something to be said for working smart as well. And my argument back to Maria was, you know, I could go knock on doors for days. I could write all of my thoughts in a journal, or I can use my computer. I can research on LinkedIn, right? It's just another tool as technology advances that we can use to make our jobs easier. And, you know, we need to be careful. And I think I've been very excited about this device. I've been excited about this topic, but I want you to hear too that I am also very wary of what's happening, what it's doing, especially personally. If I get too obsessed with learning about AI, consumer tech, it's going to take away from other priorities in my life. My dog was just stretching and scratching his nails on the ground. I don't know if you could hear that, but it is exciting. It's a topic I want to continue talking about. Hopefully I'll be able to actually physically have an R1 for a period of time and be able to test it for you all on the channel. But I'm definitely interested to hear your thoughts on AI because it's such a big topic. It's trending. I'd love to hear in the comments down below what your thoughts are of the Rabbit R1. If you agree that it might become obsolete in literally like a year or two because potentially smartphones will be adopting this really powerful, awesome AI and we won't need standalone devices for that. Yeah, I'd just love to hear your thoughts. And that's going to do it for this episode of On Living Well. Here's my dog. He wants to say hi. Thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, watch this video. I think you're going to love it. Subscribe. If you're new, like this video if you enjoyed. And I'll see you all in the next one.